Hello and welcome into the first of hopefully many video reviews on Abaddon Magazine. I've thought about doing this for a couple of reasons, but the first one being that we have a very special item for review this time, and I wanted to make it extra special just because it is special. This time we have a book to review for you, and it's a curious one because it's not written in Serbian, which we understand perfectly and speak daily. It's not written in English, which we also understand. It's not written in Russian, which one of us understands, or Deutsch, which also one of us understands. It's written in Dutch, and none of us understand it. But, well, the authors, the publishers, thought it would be a good idea to have it reviewed on Abaddon Magazine, and we thank them for it. They had nothing against doing the review for a book we don't understand. They said, oh, it's loaded with pictures. And yes, it is. It's a great thing, but it's not about the pictures. And I'm not going to review the pictures. I'm going to review the whole book because I've managed to read it. Actually, when we had an invite to review the book, they said, "Oh, okay, it's in Dutch, and we understand that you don't understand it." But I said, "Okay, I have a way of acquiring a Dutch dictionary," and I started off quite good, quite slow, but quite good, and I finished most of it until a colleague of mine, and I say hi to Ivona, introduced me to something that's called technology. Imagine that. They say it's been building up for a couple of thousand years already, and it's gotten to a point where there's a program that you just snap a photo of the page you want translated, and it translates it instantly. Of course, I cried my eyes out and prepared review. Well, I haven't actually prepared it. I'm doing this off the hook, off my mind, and I hope you like it. And I hope you will like, subscribe, share, and whatever it's needed to do in order for more people to see this review. And why is that important? It's a book that depicts like 40-year anniversary of a specific venue in Netherlands, in Rotterdam. It's called Baroeg. I think it's called Baroeg. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure I understood it correctly because the story behind its name comes from the name of a renowned philosopher, Baruch Spinoza, because the venue is located in Spinoza Street in Rotterdam. But they decided to mangle the name a bit, so it's not Baruch, but it's something like Baruch. Anyways, you decide for yourself, because here is the book. The book in question, I have no idea how to pronounce the title, but it says 4 years of this specific venue. It comes soft, soft bind, but with a dust jacket and one more important thing. It comes with a flexi disc. I wrapped it in this nice little plastic wrapper. Plastic disc with one song written and performed by a band called the Stink Thinkers, which pretty much means what it sounds. I checked it. Yes, I did. And the song title translates to Baroeg must remain, um, or must remain alive. And the point of the book itself is already in the title of this song. And the whole book deals with, well, basically the preservance of a venue for 40 years through all the ups and downs and through all the trouble they've been through in that period. Basically, doing a review of a book about a venue is discussing the venue itself and what it actually means to not only those who perform in there, uh, but those who work there, who used to work there, and also to the entire community of Rotterdam and beyond, because a whole lot of Dutch scene, metal scene, punk scene um, revolves and revolved and has revolved around Baroeg. The story encapsulates the historical background of the venue. Um, it tells the story of a venue which originated as basically a community center for young people, where they could enjoy themselves. Where they had a place to, well, do youthful stuff, where they were free from the shackles of their parents, of society, of the norms of the time period back in the early 80s. It says here that the original idea for creating space, not just Baroque, but other spaces like Baroque. I do hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Anyway, the whole idea behind these places was to give the youth what youth wants. They want music, they want conversation, they want to hang out with their like minded people, with their age like people. And basically, the venue grew from there into something that revolved around music, very much around music, and music which became more and more extreme over the years. Basically, today it's sort of a mecca for metal and punk. However, not only metal and punk exist here, as it is perfectly portrayed in the book, um, in some sort of a middle section. Well, actually, it's the third section of the book. You get a sort of browse through the genres which occupied the better part of Baruch's program. You have metal, extreme metal. You have punk, hardcore, but also you have goth. You have um, psychobilly. You have you have every bit of extreme which you don't get in your local bar, in your local pub. So that's the whole magnitude of what Baroque means. Again, not only to the people who come to the venue, but also to the people who exist around it. It's a place that unifies the youth, whatever their occupation is, whatever their style of preference is. There's a place and there's a sound for everybody. What's most intriguing, because I haven't heard about something like that, like, well, ever, maybe in the tales of CBGB or something like that. It's the community which makes up for the employees, so to speak, of Baroeg, which come from volunteers who work around the venue, who work around the concerts, who work around the DJ nights, dance evenings. Yes, they have those too. Um, there's a whole process of people working, starting from the, let's say, bottom, as volunteers who just want to help out. The thing is that no idea over there, as it seems from the book, goes unnoticed. No initiative goes without at least thought and an attempt to see where it will lead. So you have stories of volunteers who became DJs, who became sound engineers, who became musicians, and who ultimately became paid staff of the venue. You have stories of theirs. Um, you see, whatever their path is, you have stories of how this particular venue influenced their upbringing, their evolution into human beings, better human beings. You have warm, indeed warm tales of people who actually found themselves uh, in and around the venue and grew with it. With their growth, so does the venue, and vice versa. And it's spectacular. And reading about it is basically, uh, for me personally, it got me back to why and how I got into music and what I wanted to get out of music, out of concerts, out of venues, out of company of like-minded people. It's something um, that transcends just their sounds and headbanging and whatever, drinking beer at a pub. And that stuff is what makes the better part of this book. Just that feeling and that kind of, um, how do I say it? That kind of, let's call it community that Baroeg actually is. Now, for the first part of the book, you have the obvious history with how it all started, with people reminiscing the early days of construction, the early evenings, the early matinees of the venue and what the venue represented in those early days. Um, it's followed by the tale of volunteers because they are such a big part of Baroeg, of the venue. They've got a big part of the book and their experiences, their tales, and the book's ending uh, actually says that there's tons of material which didn't make it in the book, which will be published on the venue's website, uh, which I recommend you check out because there's not only the program of the venue and stuff like that. You also have a very cool merch page where you can find this book first and foremost, and then t-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, buttons, badges, whatever you want out of one venue, and however you want to support the venue. And I recommend you support it because trust me, when reading this book, it really got me thinking about maybe some values which I have even forgotten over the course of the years, growing up and forgetting how to be that kid who was so enthusiastic about going to concerts, going to venues, hanging out with people, getting to know everybody. After the section about volunteers, you get a section which contains basically the bands. Um, you see, there were hundreds of them, thousands. There's even an exact count, well, exact-ish, because there's really no way you can track down 40 years of concerts and whatever evenings. But it says right here that over 9,000 over 9,000 acts have passed through Baroeg through the years. There's even a nifty little map of where those bands come from. There's even two bands from Serbia which went through the venue. Uh, Actually, it's one band. The Stone came there twice. So, yeah. But there's a ton of information about not only bands but the genres which are represented in the venue, like I mentioned, and the progression of how those genres came to be a part of Baroque, like psychobilly, which came like again from an idea by a person that is close to the venue itself. Um, just came up. Hey, can I do a psychobilly evening? Okay, let's see how it works out. If it works out, sure, why not? Let's do it. And the venue came to be as big as it is, um, with even open air festival, which they are organizing, of course, outside the venue itself. But again, it grows. It grows to a stature which is sort of legendary, while keeping the home-like atmosphere all the time, family-like atmosphere, family-like relations between people in there, and from then on, it seems like it's easy running a venue like this. In the next section, you have a sort of a tale of how young, unknown bands, individuals, came into their own with the help of Baroque, of the venue itself, with the support they had, with the with the gigs that involved young bands, with them being openers for bigger bands, and even organizing festivals, sort of like metal battles, which are now growing ever more popular. But um, again, Baruch did it for decades, and they gave those young bands, young people, they gave them a chance. Whether they used it or not, some of them did, some of them didn't. But the important thing is, again, venue actually cares. Venue actually went out of on the limb and tried doing something for the youth, even when they stopped being a state-sponsored community center and became sort of a professional venue. They still had local talent in mind. They still had youth in mind, and they still gave them chances. And after that comes, well, a long, long list of concerts that actually happened in this venue. It's like page after page of concerts, of dates, of like, okay, we had first one in 1982, 2nd of October, Njetemin from the Netherlands, The Scene from the Netherlands, and with Nud also from the Netherlands. The first concert. The last one being held in April of this year. Um, let's see who closed the venue. Oh, there's some familiar names. On April 28th, we have Canadian Blasphemy from the Netherlands, Kerberos, and Rock. So now when I say they closed the venue, unfortunately the venue is closed, but only temporary. The venue is actually shot to pieces and leveled, so nothing remains, but the venue is under construction. Scheduled opening is for the autumn of 2025. So they will rebuild it because they had structural problems and they weren't built to be a venue where black metal should be played. So they had problem with soundproofing the place, and they decided it's just a lot easier to build it from scratch. So when I wanted to visit, and I did, um, right around half the book. Given I'm going to Amsterdam next week, I wanted to pop in and see what's on. However, it's impossible because I will only end up at a construction site. But the next time I'm in the Netherlands, guess where I'll come. And in the meantime, I will try to get my hands on some merch, which seems awesome, and I hope that next time I'm in the Netherlands or somewhere in somewhere close by, I will get the chance to visit Rotterdam, and I will make it a point to include coming to Baroeg in the visit itself. As I said, the book is spectacular. I recommend it absolutely. Even if you don't speak Dutch, trust me, technology is awesome and you will have no trouble browsing through it. It's filled with awesome pictures spanning from 1982 up to basically April this year. It's filled with even sketches like this one. Uh, Again, cool people whose lives were influenced by Baroeg and who worked and visited the venue. They, you can't just sit idly by with a tale such as this one. Other awesome illustrations for you to check out. And where this book is in particular, like attention to details. If you check out the inner page of the front cover, you will get to see Baroeg as it is, classic one. Classic Baroeg as it was before it was tore down. On the back, you have image of what it will be once it is open again. See, that's the whole thing. And to top it all off, uh, inside the dust jacket, like check this out. It's architectural plans for the building. Like if you want to build your own butter at home, here you have it. You have an instruction how to do it. Just brilliant. And with this in mind, I want to thank Francis and the entire crew of Butter for thinking about Abaddon Magazine, for sending us this book, and most of all, for being such an exquisite venue for over 40 years. The book is actually a bit late because the 40th anniversary came in the worst of times in 2021, which is still the end game of COVID. So the book is a couple of years late. However, it is still an awesome publication, which I recommend to everybody who is into any sort of extreme music, be it goth, darkwave, or just metal or hardcore. And again, thank you, Baroeg, and keep existing. And I hope to be able to review your next publication, hopefully, 100th anniversary of your magnificent venue. So long, and thank you for watching, listening, or whatever you did with this review. Bye bye.